Welcome to Mondays with Melissa. I'm Melissa Brett, co-owner of Weldon Hardware, your hometown hardware store, and this week we're talking about birdseed. Now, in selecting birdseed, let me first mention something that you should be aware of, at least in our town, and probably many of the towns that you, our customers and viewers, live. In 2020, the town of Simsbury passed a prohibition on the intentional feeding of wildlife. Bird feeders may not be used from April 1st through November 30th. Unless a source is recognized as not being desirable to bears, such as but not limited to Niger or thistle seed. Between December and March, we see a large influx of questions about what type of bird seed is best. There are a lot of brands and blends of bird seed being offered nowadays, but as we all know, more than just birds love bird food. Bears, squirrels, chipmunks, raccoons, and even some of our four-legged family members. Our recommendations depend on what type of bird you want to attract and what type of feeder you have. So let's break it down. Sunflower seed is very common. There are two types of sunflower, black oil and striped. The black oil seeds have very thin shells, easy for virtually all seed-eating birds to crack open, and the kernels within have a high fat content, extremely valuable for most winter birds. Striped sunflower seeds have a thicker shell, much harder for house sparrows and blackbirds to crack open. But take note that birds can create a pretty big mess of sunflower shells under your feeders. So there's an option of shelled sunflower seed. Many birds love this, and of course, squirrels do too. Sunflower seeds in the shell can be offered in a wide variety of feeders, including trays, tube feeders, hoppers, and acrylic window feeders. Sunflower hearts and chips shouldn't be offered in tube feeders where moisture can collect. Safflower seed has a thick shell, hard for some birds to crack open, but is a favorite among cardinals. Some grosbeaks, chickadees, doves, and native sparrows also eat it. Cardinals and grosbeaks tend to prefer tray and hopper feeders, which makes these feeders a good choice for offering safflower. Niger or thistle food is great for year-round feeders. Finches and buntings often devour these tiny black needle-like seeds. Only a few types of feeders can be used with Niger seed, either the tube ones with small slits or sock feeders. If your finches stop visiting your thistle feeder, one possibility is that the seed was overheated at the packaging plant, causing the edible portion to be dried, burnt, and unappealing. And most backyard friends like bears, squirrels, and the such find this seed uninteresting and ignore it. Shelled and cracked corn are eaten by cardinals, grosbeaks, crows, ravens, jays, doves, ducks, and other species. Unfortunately, corn has two serious problems. First, it's a favorite of house sparrows, cowbirds, starlings, geese, bears, raccoons, and deer, none of which should be fed by us. Second, corn is the bird food most likely to be contaminated with aflatoxins, which are extremely toxic even at low levels. Never buy corn in plastic bags, allow it to get wet, nor offer it in amounts that can be consumed in a day during rainy or very humid weather. And be conscientious about raking up old corn. Never offer corn covered in a red dye, as corn intended for planting is often treated with fungicide, and then marked with red dye as a warning, since it's very highly toxic to humans, livestock, and of course, birds. Never offer buttered popcorn or any kind of microwave popcorn, as popped corn spoils quickly. Corn should be offered in very small amounts at a time on tray feeders, so don't offer it in tube feeders that could harbor moisture. Peanuts are very popular with jays, crows, chickadees, titmice, woodpeckers, and many other species, but are also favored by squirrels, bears, raccoons, and the occasional baseball fan. Like corn, peanuts have a high likelihood of harboring aflatoxins, so must be kept dry and used up fairly quickly. Peanuts in the shell can be set out on platform feeders or right on the deck railing or window feeder as a special treat for jays, if they reach them before the squirrels do. If peanuts or mixtures of peanuts and other seeds are offered in tube feeders, make sure to change the seed frequently, especially during rainy or humid weather, completely emptying out and cleaning the tube every time. Millet and flax seeds are often used as fillers in packaged bird seed mixes, but most birds shun them. Waste seed becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and fungus, contaminating fresh seed more quickly. Make sure to read the ingredients on the list on bird seed mixtures, avoiding those with these seeds being the majority of the product. In particular, if a seed has a lot of small red seeds, make sure they're milo or sorghum and not red millet. Most of the bird food companies make blends with different ratios of all these different types of seeds. Definitely keep the seeds stored in a cool, dry location. One thing that can help non-winged visitors at your feeder is to add hot pepper oil to your seed. Birds lack the specific receptors that detect capsaicin, so they don't experience the burning sensation when eating the treated seed, unlike most mammals. Many bird seed manufacturers make a seed with this hot pepper oil already integrated in, or you can buy a bottle of mix into any seed. But be careful, use gloves and mix with your seed in a well-ventilated area. The last type of feed and feeder I want to share with you today is the suet feeder. Suet feeders are a great way to offer high-energy foods to birds, especially woodpeckers, nuthatches, chickadees, titmice, starlings, jays, and sometimes wrens and warblers. They are most often used during the cooler temperatures of winter. Suet attracts a different variety of birds to your feeder, and the birds often feed energetically and acrobatically. But be aware, suet can become quickly rancid at temperatures above freezing. Hummingbirds are a completely different type of feeding situation, which we will discuss at a later time, since they don't migrate in Connecticut until late April or so. As I alluded to before, there are several types of feeders: tube feeders, tray or platform feeders, house feeders, window feeders, and Niger or thistle feed feeders. There are some brands that help deter squirrels in ingenious ways as well, flipping or spinning the squirrels off. So as you can see, there's a lot to know when it comes to feeding our feathered neighbors. If you have any questions or are not sure where to start, come on into our store and we'll gladly help you pick out a feeder and bird seed that best fits your specific house, apartment, or even business. Thank you for watching this week's edition of Mondays with Melissa, and I can't wait to share more of us at Weldon Hardware with you at home.